इसमें हम जो चीज़ें डिस्कस करेंगे, all types of writing, all stages of writing process, one-on-one consultations, hours posted Fridays at 4 p.m. See brochure for scheduling informations. इससे जो वर्कशॉप है, ये लेक्चर जो है, इसके क्या बेनिफिट्स हैं टू हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड द पर्पस एंड बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ एन अफेक्टिव लिटरेचर रिव्यू, कि आप किस तरह लिख सकते हैं अफेक्टिव लिटरेचर रिव्यू को, क्रिटिकली असेस कर सकते हैं रिसर्च मटेरियल्स को, to develop strategies for inventing, organizing, and drafting a literature review, to help you cite sources appropriately. Purpose क्या है literature review का? The literature review is a critical look at the existing research that is significant to the work that you are carrying out. यानी इसका बेसिकली मकसद ये होता है कि आपने एक क्रिटिकल लुक देखना होता है, कि आपने ये देखना होता है एग्जिस्टिंग रिसर्च क्या क्या हो चुकी है, उसी को अपने क्रिटिकल तरीके से देखना होता है। टू प्रोवाइड ये नहीं करना बैकग्राउंड इंफॉर्मेशन को, टू एस्टेब्लिश करना इम्पोर्टेंस को, टू डिमोन्स्ट्रेट करना फेमिलियरिटी को, टू कार्व आउट करना स्पेस को फॉर फर्दर रिसर्च के लिए, कि आप फर्दर रिसर्च क्या कर सकते हैं, वो आप लिटरेचर व्यू से आप जो है उसको फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं। कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होती हैं अफेक्टिव लिटरेचर रिव्यू की? आउटलाइनिंग इंपॉर्टेंट रिसर्च ट्रेंड्स, assessing the strength and weaknesses of existing research, identifying potential gaps in knowledge, establishing a need for current or future research projects। यानी हम कह सकते हैं कि सबसे पहला जो है कि जो रिसर्च ट्रेंड्स हैं, इंपॉर्टेंट रिसर्च ट्रेंड्स हैं, उनको आउटलाइन करना। नंबर सेकंड पे है एग्जिस्टिंग रिसर्च जो हो चुकी है उनकी स्ट्रेंथ क्या है और उनकी वीकनेसेस क्या हैं। नंबर थर्ड पे गैप को आइडेंटिफाई करना नॉलेज में, कि जो आप क्या गैप है इसमें, ताकि उस पर आप रिसर्च कर सकें। फिर आप इस्टेब्लिश करना है नीड को फॉर करंट और फ्यूचर रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट के लिए। स्टेप्स फॉर राइटिंग ए लिटरेचर रिव्यू, अगर आप लिटरेचर रिव्यू लिखना चाहते हैं तो उसके स्टेप्स कौन कौन से हैं? नंबर वन प्लानिंग, नंबर सेकंड रीडिंग एंड रिसर्च, नंबर थर्ड एनालाइजिंग, नंबर फोर ड्राफ्टिंग, नंबर फाइव रिवाइजिंग। फाइव स्टेप्स हैं जिससे आप लिटरेचर रिव्यू लिख सकते हैं। नंबर वन पे आते हैं प्लानिंग। व्हाट टाइप ऑफ लिटरेचर रिव्यू एम आई राइटिंग? प्लानिंग में क्या होगा, फोकस करेंगे आप। व्हाट इज द स्पेसिफिक थीसिस? स्पेसिफिक थीसिस क्या है, प्रॉब्लम क्या है, या रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस क्या है, दैट माई लिटरेचर रिव्यू हेल्प्स टू डिफाइन, जिसको लिटरेचर रिव्यू हमारा डिफाइन करना चाहता है। आइडेंटिफाई ए फोकस दैट अलाउज यू टू सॉर्ट एंड कैटेगराइज इंफॉर्मेशन, एलिमिनेट इररेलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन, उसमें हम जो इररेलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन उसको एलिमिनेट करेंगे। टाइप, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ लिटरेचर रिव्यू एम आई कंडक्टिंग? थ्योरी, methodology, policy, quantitative और qualitative। प्लानिंग में स्कोप क्या होगा? व्हाट इज द स्कोप ऑफ माय लिटरेचर रिव्यू? लिटरेचर रिव्यू का स्कोप क्या है? व्हाट टाइप्स ऑफ सोर्सेज एम आई यूजिंग? एंड एकेडमिक डिसिप्लिन्स क्या है? व्हाट फील्ड्स एम आई वर्किंग इन, जिसमें आप वर्क कर रहे हो। रिफ्लेक्टिंग, take a moment to answer each of the questions in the planning section of your pocket about literature review you can are currently working on or plan to work on. How many of the questions could you answer? What questions did this short exercise raise for you? Reading and researching. What materials am I going to use? Collect and read materials. Summarize sources. Who is the author? What is the author main purpose? What is the author theoretical perspective, research methodology? Who is the intended audience? What is the principal point, conclusion, thesis, contention, or question? Who is the author's position supported? How does this study relate to the other study of the problem or topic? What does this study add to your project? Select only relevant books and articles. Analyzing क्या है? How do I assess existing research? मैं कैसे जो है एग्जिस्टिंग रिसर्च को असेस करता हूँ। एनालाइजिंग सोर्सेज क्या है जी? ए लिटरेचर व्यू इज नेवर जस्ट ए लिस्ट ऑफ स्टडीज, इट ऑलवेज ऑफर्स एन आर्गूमेंट about a body of research. Analysis occurs on two levels: individual sources, body of research. फोर एनालिसिस जो हैं वो आपके लिटरेचर रिव्यू में हो सकते हैं. नंबर वन, टास्क ऑफ लिटरेचर रिव्यू: समराइज करना, सिंथेसाइज करना, क्रिटिक करना और कंपेयर करना. दिस इज द फोर टास्क ऑफ ए लिटरेचर रिव्यू. नो, समरी एंड सिंथेसाइज क्या है जी? इन योर ओन वर्ड, समरी और सिंथेसाइज द की फाइंडिंग रेलिवेंट टू योर स्टडी. यानी समराइज करना, इन अदर वर्ड में समराइज जो है इन योर ओन वर्ड में आप कहते हो समराइज करना. और सिंथेसाइज क्या है कि जो की फाइंडिंग है जो रेलिवेंट है आपके स्टडी के, उनको एक सिंथेसाइज आप करते हो, एक उसे तरतीब लगा लेते हो. व्हाट डू यू नो अबाउट द इमीडिएट एरिया? आपका इमीडिएट एरिया क्या है, की आर्गूमेंट्स क्या हैं, की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या हैं, की कंसेप्ट क्या हैं और की फिगर्स क्या हैं. What are the existing debates or theories? What common methodologies are used? Sample language of for summary and synthesize. Normadin has demonstrated. Early work by Hassman, Shivers, and Graves was concerned with Elsiot and Stern compared algorithm for handling. Additional work by Karasawa, et.al., Azadivar, and Perry, etc. deals with example, summary, and synthesis. Under the section of some population, four possible ways to avoid premature convergence were presented. The first one is to revise the gene operators. Griffith and Miles applied advanced two-dimensional gene operators to search the optimal cross section of a beam and significantly improve result. Second way is to adjust gene probability. Lead and topping adopting a variable mutation probability and obtained an outperformed result. Examples: Piaget's theory of stages of cognitive development and Erickson's stages of psychological development, commonly used for education psychological courses. Boric and Tombari 1997, Lee Franciscos 1997, Slavin 1997. Piaget described characteristics, behaviors, including artistic ones such as drawing, as evidence of how children think and what children do as they progress beyond developmental milestones into and through stages of development. Comparison and critique: evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the work. How do the different studies relate? What is new, different, or controversial? What views need further testing? What evidence is lacking, inconclusive, contradicting, or too limited? What research design and methods seem unsatisfactory? यानी आपने सबसे पहले स्ट्रेंथ और वीकनेसेस को देखते हैं, उसको एवेल्यूएट करना आपने कि डिफरेंट स्टडीज़ कैसे रिलेट कर रही हैं, क्या चीज़ न्यू है, डिफरेंट क्या है और कंट्रावर्सल क्या है दोनों में. व्हाट व्यूज़ नीड फर्दर, क्या व्यूज़ हम टेस्ट कर सकते हैं फर्दर. व्हाट एविडेंस की लैकिंग है, इनकंक्लूसिव है, कंट्राडिक्टिंग है, टू लिमिटेड है. व्हाट रिसर्च डिज़ाइन और मेथड सीम अनसेटिस्फैक्टरी हैं. Sample language for comparison critique: it is ambitious but flawed study, Jones and Wong. These journal results, reflecting the stochastic nature of the flow of goods, are similar to those reported by Rosenblatt and Troll. Example: comparison and critique. The critical response to the poetry of Phyllis Whitley often registers disappointment or surprise. Some critics have complained that the verse of this African American slave is insecure. Collins 1975-78. Imitative Richmond 1974, 54, 66, and incapacitated Bulk 1991, 33, 38. At worst, the product of a white mind, Jameson's 1974, 414, 15. Others, in contrast, have applauded Whitley critics of Anglo American discourse, her revision of literary models. Examples: comparison and critique. The situationist Model has also received its share of criticism. One of the most frequently cited shortcomings of this approach centers around the assumption that individuals enter into the work context tabula rasa. Evaluative adjective क्या है? Unusual, small, simple, exploratory, limited, restricted, flawed, complex, competent, important, innovative, impressive, useful, careful. Putting it all together. Once you have summarized, synthesized, compared, and critiqued your chosen material, you may consider whether these studies demonstrate the topic chronological development, show different approaches to the problem, show an ongoing debate, center on a seminar study or studies, demonstrate a paradigm shift, analyzing, putting it all together. What do researchers know about this field? What do researchers not know? Why should we further study this topic? What will my study contribute? क्या रिसर्चर जानते हैं इस फील्ड के मतलब और क्या रिसर्चर नहीं जानते? हमने हम फर्दर स्टडी क्यों करना चाहते हैं इस टॉपिक पे? व्हाट विल माय स्टडी कंट्रीब्यूट, मेरी स्टडी क्या कंट्रीब्यूट करेगी? इन सवालों के जवाब आपने देने हैं, एनालाइज करना है. Exercise number 1 है balancing summary and analysis. Look at the first example in page 8 of your pocket. What strategy might the author use to better synthesize this information? Compare this example to the example below. How does the second example improve some of the problem of the first? Look at the drafting and overview. To help your approach, you draft in a manageable fashion. This section addresses the following topics: exigency, thesis statement, organization, introduction and conclusion, citations. The thesis statement offers an argument about the literature. It may do any of or a combination of the following: offer an argument and critical assessment of the literature, that is topic plus claim, provide an overview of the current scholarly conversation, point out gaps or weaknesses in the literature, related literature to the larger aim of the study. Thesis statement can example. In spite of these difficulties, we believe that pre-service elementary or teachers and classroom teachers need some knowledge of stage theories of children development, and goes on to review theories of development. Research on the meaning and experience of home has proliferated over the past 2 decades, particularly within the disciplines of sociology, anthropology, psychology, human geography, history, architecture, and philosophy. Many researchers know, understand home as a multidimensional concept and acknowledge the presence of and need for multidisciplinary research in the field. However, with the exception of two exemplary articles by Despres 1991 and Somerville 1997, few have translated this awareness into genuinely interdisciplinary studies of the meaning of home. एग्जाम्पल नंबर 3 है, इसी तरह एग्जाम्पल नंबर 4 अब करेंगे. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या है जी? 5 common approaches to organize the body of your paper include topically, distant to close, debate, chronologically, seminal study. Characteristics क्या हैं? टॉपिकल की मोस्ट कॉमन अप्रोच है, breaks the field into number of subfield, subject areas or approaches, discuss each subsection individually, sometimes with critics of each, most useful for organizing a large body of literature, does not have one or two studies that stand out as the most important or a clear chronological development. Topical language क्या है? Three important areas of this field have receiving attention: A, B, C. He has been approached from two perspectives, F and G. The most important development in terms of B have been. C has also been an important area of study in this field. Distant to close characteristics: a type of topical organization with study grouped by their relevance to current research. Start by describing study with general similarities to current research and ends with study most relevant to the specific topic. Most useful for study of methods or models. Methods or model: M slightly similar to current research addresses. Drawing upon method, model, and more similar to current research can help. This study applies the procedure used in method, model, or more similar to current research too. Debate characteristics can any other type of topology approach where the chronological component emphasize various strands of research in which proponents of various models openly criticize one another. Most useful when clear opposing oppositions are present in the literature. Debate क्या होती है? There have been two or three or four distinct approaches to this problem. The first model posits second model argues the first model is wrong for three reasons. Instead, the second model claims chronological क्या है? This study in terms of chronological development useful when the field displays clear development over a period of time, linear progression and paradigm shift. Typical language. This subject was first studied by X who argued font. In date, you modify extended contradicted XY's work to do research by Z represent the current state of the field. Similar study begins with a detailed description of extremely important study. Later work is organized using another pattern. Most useful when a study is clearly most important are centered in laying the groundwork for future research. Similar study, typical language, the most important research on this topic was the study by X in date. Following X study, research fell into two camps, extended X work, etc. Exercise number 2, organizational patterns. Use the for example on page 10 and 11 of your packet. Answer the following question. Can you identify the organization pattern for each of the four examples? Do you recognize these from your field? Which one are you most likely to use? Introduction indicates scope of the literature review. Provide some background to the topic. Demonstrate the importance or need of research. Make a claim. Offer an overview or map of the ensuing discussions. Example, there is a currently much controversy over how non-human primates understand the behavior of other animate beings. On the one hand, they might simply attend to and recall the specific actions of others in particular context, and therefore when that context recurs be able to predict this behavior. On the other hand, they might be able to understand something of the goals or intentions of others, thus be able to predict others' behaviors in host of novel circumstances. Several lines of evidence and a number of anecdotal observations have been adduced on both sides of the question, but few studies directly address the questions. Do, do non-human primates understand the intentions of others? Conclusion. Summarize the main findings of your review. Provide closure. Explain so what implication for future research or connections to the current study. Examples. Conclusions. कंक्लूजन में कहेंगे साइटिंग सोर्सेज आप साइट करेंगे उन्हें जो है उसमें साइटिंग जब सोर्स करेंगे तो प्लेजरिज्म से अवॉइड करना है, इरेलीवेंट कोटेशंस आपने अवॉइड करनी है और अनइंट्रोड्यूस कोटेशंस को आपने अवॉइड करना है. एग्जांपल्स उसमें कोटिंग का ख्याल रखेंगे आप, पैराफ्रेजिंग करेंगे आप ताकि आपसे रिवाइजिंग हाउ कैन आई फाइंड टोन बाय ड्राफ्ट, सम टिप्स ऑन रिवाइजिंग, टाइटल इज माई टाइटल कंसिस्टेंट विद द कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ माई पेपर के मुताबिक है. इंट्रोडक्शन, डू आई अप्रोप्रिएट इंट्रोड्यूस माई रिव्यू. Thesis, does my review have a clear claim? Body, is the explanation clear? Have I provided headings, topics, sentences? Have I clearly indicated the major idea of each paragraph? Transition, does my writing flow? Conclusion, do I provide sufficient closure? And spelling and grammar, are there any major spelling or grammatically mistakes? Writing literature review in summary, as you read, try to see the big picture. Your literature review should provide an overview of the state of the researcher. Include only those source materials that help you shape your argument. Resist the temptation to include everything you have read. Balance summary and analysis as you write. Keep in mind your purpose for writing. How will this review benefit readers? How does this review contribute to your study? Be meticulous about citations. Thank you for joining us. Please feel welcome to visit us for an individual consultation on your literature review, or other writing project. To schedule an appointment, see that you are listed on the front page of your pocket. Please return the evaluation as you leave. And most most importantly, join the YouTube channel Ghana Sarfraz Nawaz for more updation, for more update on research कि हम रिसर्च कैसे कर सकते हैं। तो इसके मतलब जो है आपको मज़ीद इंशाल्लाह इससे अच्छी अच्छी वीडियोज़ आपको मिलेंगी। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।